always marked up to whatever you put up. If you go 2 seconds so fast, set a trend always to make a split, an improvement on whatever performance you have made. So always very keen and very nice to have Bahamas, as they always try to set a new benchmark.
College leading teams, followed by the stilt walkers, or we call them the Moco Jumbies, as you would say in the Bahamas. And this is the team from Bermuda.
That's
the
Cayman Islands.
Bermuda followed by the Cayman Islands, because we're missing some of the teams.
Yes.
There was Bermuda followed by the Cayman Islands, and now we see Curacao.
Yeah, Curacao, I'm sure the Dutch, they have been always very strong in sport, and it is a welcome participation to have Curacao at CARIFTA Games.
And French Guyana. Pretty large contingent from French Guyana that not been involved for too long, I would imagine. Then we see the contingent from the Spice Isle, Grenada, and they're very colorful uniforms for the Grenadian national team.
Yes, I'm very sure that Grenadians are very proud of their team, and I would say that our own Dave Farmer, he has been very integral in assisting the development of the swimmers in Grenada, and they've now gone on to some participation through coaches on the Cuban program, which has brought very good results for Grenada so far.
And the Grenada national swim team.
Small contingent from
We
Guyana,
also
just behind the
welcome
contingent from Grenada, small contingent from Guyana, and then we see a small contingent as well from Haiti. And it's good that amidst all the turmoil that's occurring in Haiti, that they're still able to send a swimming team here to the CARIFTA Championships.
Well, this is the silver lining in all that's happening. I believe that what is happening in Haiti is a reflection of how we can use any situation to always progress as nations and try to pull on strengths of other nations to move forward.
San Martin.
I think the announcer
Saint
getting
Vincent
they're ahead of us at the
swim
moment, because
Yes.
we can see the next team after Haiti is the Jamaica team.
Yes. Large contingent from Jamaica every year, always. They are a force to be reckoned with. Jamaica does not take sport lightly.
Of course not.
And I am sure that they are a beacon, and we also use them as a benchmark to recognize that we can do better. So Team Jamaica always represented well.
So the Jamaica team and their traditional green, and now we are now seeing as the angle changes, we see some swimmers from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Suriname.
The swimmer of Barbados.
The Trinidad and Tobago national team are
Yes.
probably another force at these championships. Trinidad and Tobago always does well in swimming, and in fact they did very well in the water polo section of these CARIFTA swimming championships.
That's right. Trinidad and Tobago at this moment, they lead the Caribbean in water polo, and I would say, I would use a word as strong as lead, and they are well positioned, as close to South America as they are, to participate and get a lot of competitive practice. Well, I think that is what is missing in Barbados. We really need to have an avenue to travel through the Caribbean a bit more efficiently based on cost.
I think that one of the challenges, of course, with traveling through the Caribbean is the cost. And I know that one or two teams did not make it here. I believe Dominica and St. Kitts Nevis not present at these championships, and probably a little unfortunate. calls for the national anthem of Barbados.
Done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Sandiford. You may sit. Mr. Tony Selby is the president of the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association, and he's also the chairman of the organizing committee of these games. He has represented Barbados at swimming and water polo, and this is his second term as president. And as president, I'm calling on him now to give the welcome to these games. Mr. Selby.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Mr. Stephen Rowe, Sports Development Officer, the Ministry of Culture and Sport. Sir Austin Seeley, founder of the CARIFTA Games and member of the International Olympic Committee and Life Vice President of the Commonwealth Games Federation. Mr. Erskine Simmons, Secretary General of the Barbados Olympic Association. Mr. Neil Murrell, Director Acting of the National Sports Council. Executive and Council members of the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association, Mr. Errol Clark and Mr. Algernon Gargill, FINA Bureau members, presidents and officials of federations present, specially invited guests, athletes, officials, and delegations of participating federations in swimming and open water swimming of the 34th CARIFTA Championships, dedicated and hard-working staff of the Aquatic Center, parents and supporters, sponsors with whom these games would not be possible, members of the press, friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association, I am honored and delighted to welcome you to the 34th CARIFTA Games and to our beautiful Barbados. These championships are taking place in two segments. water polo and artistic swimming, which took place from the 12th to the 15th, and pool swimming and open water swimming, which is taking place from today, April the 20th to the 24th. Over the next 5 days, the best of 23 federations throughout the region will be competing for supremacy in the pool and the sea. In the first segment, we witnessed some extremely competitive water polo games, confirming the resurrection or the resurgence, rather, of the water polo in the region. We also witnessed some extremely talented young artistic swimmers, providing much promise for the future. The CARIFTA Aquatic Sports Championships is extremely important to the development of aquatics in our region, as it prepares our young athletes for higher level competitions. Indeed, all of our athletes who have gone on to represent themselves and their countries at the higher level meets, be it the CAC Games, the Pan American Games, the Commonwealth Games, the Olympics, or World Championships, have all participated at the CARIFTA level championships, including such swimmers as George Bevell, Anthony Nesty, Dylan Carter, Bradley Alley, Nickel Nichols, and the reigning world breaststroke champion and record holder, the evergreen queen of swimming, Aaliyah Atkinson. If you would permit me, I would like to take a moment to recognize Mr. Morris Foster, who 30 years ago, together with a small group of masters swimmers, including Angus Edgell, were responsible for the building of the Aquatic Center, which we have recently upgraded, and what a valuable facility it has proven to be. Morris Foster has recently published a book which, among many other achievements, has detailed the history of Aquatic Center and swimming in Barbados. This book will be on sale at the mezzanine level. The upgrade of the Aquatic Center would not have been possible without the assistance of the Tourism Development Corporation, who provided some much needed funds. I would also acknowledge our past president, Andrew Kirby, and his associate, who were instrumental in identifying a source of funding for our new starting blocks with my persistence. On behalf of the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association, and indeed Barbados, we welcome all of you, and we are extremely happy to be your hosts, and wish you a most enjoyable stay in Barbados. We look forward to keen competition and outstanding sportsmanship by all. Good luck, and thank you.
And we thank you too, Mr. Selby. Next, we're going to ask Mr. Austin Seeley, who has been knighted for his contribution to sports. Sir Austin Seeley is celebrated as the founder for establishing the CARIFTA Games. He has been the past president of the Amateur Association of Barbados, the past president of the Barbados Olympic Association. For 25 years, he has been a member of the International Olympic Committee, and he's the only member of that committee from the English-speaking Caribbean. We would like to welcome to the microphone Sir Austin Seeley.
Good afternoon to one and all, distinguished guests, athletes and officials from throughout the Caribbean, other officials from outside of the Caribbean, specially invited guests. It gives me great pleasure to be here this evening for what, Mr. Selby, I think is the 35th CARIFTA Swimming Championships. These games, CARIFTA Games, started with track and field only in 1972, and the competition was widened in 1985 with the addition of 6 disciplines: swimming, cycling, boxing, tennis, table tennis, shooting, and weightlifting. And I think, if I'm correct, swimming has never missed a year's competition. For the years 1985 to 1989, all the CARIFTA competitions were held in the same one-week period of Easter time at a single venue. That joint presentation, unfortunately in my view, came to an end after the 1989 games here in Barbados, which I think still has the record for the highest number of sportsmen in Barbados, 1,900 at the 1989 CARIFTA Games. But back to the games we have before us now. Swimming is a very important discipline. And your president, Mr. Selby, he mentioned one name that I cannot overlook, and it is that of Anthony Nesty. He won the gold medal in the 1988 CARIFTA Games, and 1987 CARIFTA, and 1988 Olympics in Seoul, he won the gold medal in the 100 meters butterfly. That, I think, is probably the most successful achievement that the Caribbean had in swimming before the 2000 year. But here we are again for another year's competition. I compliment and congratulate the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association for hosting this event. And as far as we in Barbados are concerned, I hope the public will come on out over the coming 3 days and lend you full support. To the athletes, I say just remember the rules, play fair, enjoy the competition, take the opportunity, if possible, to see some of our beautiful island, and I'm sure this year's competition will long remain in your memories. Good luck to one and all, and thanks for having me here with you.
Thank you very much, Sir Austin Seeley. I will now call on Nkosi Dunwoody and Daniel Titus to give us the athlete's pledge.
Good afternoon. In the name of all competitors in the 2019 CARIFTA Swimming Championships,
we pledge to abide by the rules which govern them,
to be respectful to our coaches, officials, and fellow competitors,
and for all of us to be true ambassadors for the promotion of clean and fair competition in the sport of swimming. We further pledge that our actions to bring pride and honor to our respective nations.
Thank you.
I will now call on Mr. Robert Best to give the officials' pledge.
In the name of all officials of the 2019 CARIFTA Swimming Championship, we pledge to respect and abide by the FINA rules that govern swimming, and to be fair and impartial in our rulings. We also pledge to promote and encourage true sportsmanship among the teams. Thank you.
And now I will call on Mr. Stephen Rowe, the Sports Development Officer in the Ministry of Creative Economy, Culture and Sports, to bring greetings on behalf of our Minister of Culture, Mr. John King. Put your hands together and welcome our representative from the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy.
Master of Ceremonies, Sir Austin Seeley, International Olympic Committee member in Barbados, and founder of the CARIFTA Championships. Mr. Erskine Simmons, General Secretary, Barbados Olympic Association, and members of the Barbados Olympic Association. Mr. Neil Merrill, Acting Director of Sports, National Sports Council, and staff of the National Sports Council. Mr. Maurice Foster, founding member of the Barbados Amateur Swimming Association. Mr. Tony Selby, President of the Barbados Amateur Swimming Association and members of the Barbados Amateur Swimming Association. Distinguished members of FINA, presidents of national federations of the region, officials and members of the organizing committee of the 34th CARIFTA Swimming Championships, members of participating teams, sponsors, members of the media, distinguished guests, parents and guardians, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very good evening to you all. It is with great pleasure that I join you this evening for these much anticipated CARIFTA Swimming Championships. I do apologize on behalf of the Honorable John A. King, MP, Minister of Creative Economy, Culture and Sports, who unavoidably could not be with us this evening and has asked me to deliver these remarks on his behalf. 34 years of existence of the CARIFTA Swimming Championships is certainly a milestone to be celebrated and moreover to be commended. This achievement is of even greater significance for us here in Barbados, as the CARIFTA Games were founded by our very own Sir Austin Seeley, as you would have heard earlier. And it was right here in Barbados that the inaugural games were hosted. I therefore acknowledge the hard work of the Barbados Amateur Swimming Association and its organizing committee in the coordination of these 34th edition of these games. I am advised that we are joined by close to 800 athletes and officials and some 400 spectators from across the Caribbean community. On behalf of the government and people of Barbados, I extend a warm welcome to our visiting friends and a very special welcome to those joining us for the first time. These championships are symbolic of the integration of our Caribbean people, a feat I hope can be replicated in other areas of Caribbean integration. You may have observed that in recent times, there has been a renewed focus on regional integration and on the promotion of the Caribbean single market and economy. You may have also noted that some have expressed reservations about the practicality of such regional integration. Towards the dispelling of these doubts, one only has to look at the successes exemplified in the CARIFTA Swimming Championships and the sustainability thereof, which has given credence to the old adage, where there is a will, there is a way. In speaking to the singleness of our Caribbean people, our closeness is closely seen in the way in which we unite to claim and celebrate our regional successes in sports. Over the years, we have witnessed this in swimming, where we were united through the exploits of Mr. George Bavell of Trinidad and Tobago, 5-time Olympian, an Olympic and World Championship bronze medalist. Mr. Dylan Carter, also of Trinidad and Tobago, a silver medalist at the Commonwealth Games. Mr. Bradley Ali, 3 times Olympian and bronze medalist at the 2007 Pan Am Games. Miss Leah Martindale of Barbados, the first black female in history to reach an Olympic swimming finals in the 50-meter freestyle. Then there is Miss Aaliyah Atkinson of Jamaica, the first black woman in history to win a gold at a World Championships, having done so at the Doha World Games in 2014. Of course, you would have heard Sir Austin mention Anthony Nestle, gold medalist at the Olympics of 1988 in Seoul. Beyond emphasizing the effects these swimmers and by extension sports can have on the unification of our people, I've taken the time to mention some of our stars for the purpose of reminding you, our competitors here today, that such excellence is not just wishful thinking. I think we can agree that the foundation of the success of these outstanding athletes, the place where they metaphorically cut their teeth, was right here at these CARIFTA championships. Hence, you too can follow the pathways of your predecessors and achieve such glory, for the sky is your limit. It would be remiss of me not to speak to the many benefits one may derive from participating in sports, both recreational and competitive, especially given the social challenges that are being experienced by Barbados and some of our regional neighbors. Persons in the arena of sports have traditionally derived the many health-related benefits: high levels of motivation and commitment, good team spirit, management and coordinating skills, and the increasingly important mental toughness, conflict resolution skills, interpersonal skills, being self-confident, and that invaluable sense of belonging. The combination of these attributes can lead to the development of individuals who are well-rounded and less likely to add to the social challenges being experienced across the region today. With this in mind, the Ministry of Creative Economy, Culture and Sports in Barbados, through the National Sports Council, will promote increased participation in sports through the upgrading of our facilities and the rolling out of new initiatives in the area of sports. There may also be similar initiatives by some of the other state entities across the region. However, spreading the word and encouraging participation in sports at all levels is a task for all stakeholders of sports, parents and guardians. The presence of so many of you here today testifies of the role that sports can play in ensuring a wholesome society is built on functional families. I urge you, therefore, to encourage your children and awards to get involved and stay involved in sports, not only in swimming, but in any sporting discipline. National governing bodies, for those of you who have not already done so, the time has come for you to implement public relations strategies that highlight the successes of our regional stars, to continuously utilize their achievements as a motivator for others to get involved in sports. To you, the competitors, you have some exciting and often rewarding experiences which are known in your immediate circles of influence and sometimes quickly forgotten. You too can share your stories and so encourage others to participate and derive the many benefits of sports. After all, each of you is a role model in your own right. If we collectively play our part, we can be instrumental in shaping the future of our friends, our colleagues, our communities, our respective countries, and ultimately the Caribbean region we love so dearly. Of course, my list is not exhausted, for there is the very important media and the supporters and the sponsors and others. You too have important roles to play in encouraging and increased participation in sports. I now take this opportunity to commend the sponsors who have contributed financially and in kind to the staging of this year's event. Without you, it would not have been possible. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am aware that the feature of this evening's proceeding is not this speaker. I therefore conclude my remarks by extending best wishes to all of you for an exciting and a most enjoyable 34th CARIFTA Swimming Championships. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
We will now ask our athletes to proceed with the march off, and they will go off in the reverse order in which they came. So we will start with Barbados. Oh, I'm sorry. You... Barbados, Virgin Islands,
At the heart of every great business is the reason the numbers matter, the purpose that drives every action. NGC's mission has always been to deliver maximum value for our people, because we believe our business should fuel more than just industry. It should fire the passions of our people and enable our dreamers to aspire and achieve. We are the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited.
The 2019 CARIFTA Games live.
Success of these outstanding athletes, the place where they metaphorically cut their teeth, was right here at these CARIFTA Championships. Hence, you too can follow the pathways of your predecessors and achieve such glory, for the sky is your limit. It would be remiss of me not to speak to the many benefits one may derive from participating in sports, both recreational and competitive.
especially given the social challenges that are being experienced by Barbados and some of our regional neighbors. Persons in the arena of sports have traditionally derived the many health-related benefits, high levels of motivation and commitment, good team spirit, management and coordinating skills, and the increasingly important mental toughness, conflict resolution skills, interpersonal skills, being self-confident, and that invaluable sense of belonging. The combination of these attributes can lead to the development of individuals who are well-rounded and less likely to add to the social challenges being experienced across the region today. With this in mind, the Ministry of Creative Economy, Culture and Sports in Barbados, through the National Sports Council, will promote increased participation in sports through the upgrading of our facilities and the rolling out of new initiatives in the area of sports. There may also be similar initiatives by some of the other state entities across the region. However, spreading the word and encouraging participation in sports at all levels is a task for all stakeholders of sports, parents and guardians. The presence of so many of you here today testifies of the role that sports can play in ensuring a wholesome society is built on functional families. I urge you, therefore, to encourage your children and awards to get involved and stay involved in sports. In any discipline. National governing bodies, for those of you who have not already done so, the time to implement regulations that highlight the
reflects in the city. It's just a mural to represent our creativity as graphic design students. But it's not just graphic design in terms of letters, it's all sorts of creativity because our creativity stems from different directions, different reasons. Right now I'm very nervous about how it's going to turn out because I am very strict in dimensions and stuff. So at this point this is my OCD kicking in. One of our students, our classmates, Elizabeth, actually drew this.